WWE's Elimination Chamber is this Sunday, and I don't want to do this to pad out the time a little bit for the video, but since WWE um, has been doing their version of Black History Month, I might as well do a little bit as well. In the form of something that came in recently, and it's something that is honestly beautiful. And I'm not going to sure this is not really going to do it justice. Um, Honestly, it's not really going to do it justice. Probably with the other side of the camera, I might be able to pick it up better. But in my hand is a coin for the 50th anniversary of the "I Have a Dream" speech from Martin Luther King Jr. Oh, there we go. That's a lot better. That's a lot better. So we can get a better look at that. It's a lot better. And it doesn't really, it just makes it reflective on this side. But that's a good shot, the eagle there, honestly. And it's in reverse, but honestly, it doesn't really matter at that point. But, you know, and I Have a Dream speech, honestly, from Martin Luther King is probably the most known thing in WWE, honestly. Not just in WWE, not WWE, but for all persons, regardless of color, regardless of creed, regardless of anything, without that speech, we may not be where we are today with white men and black men and people of any race or any color, any orientation or anything like that. And you know, it's interesting because it's probably one of his more well-known speeches. However, it's, you know, he's done so much, like the Birmingham jail letters, the his which unfortunately would be his final speech. The God, what was it? The some people call it the Promised Land speech. Some people call it something else. I don't remember what it was called, but some people call it the Promised Land speech. But it mostly happened with the sit-ins at the time, with the bus sit-ins, because Rosa Parks, ironically, wasn't the first female to do what she did, sit on the bus and not let a white man take her seat. You know, there were more people than it, but much like Dr. King, and I hate to say it like this, people like a Rosa Parks, people like a Martin Luther King were the token black examples of how people that in the civil rights movement could make a difference. You know, and of course there are people, God, like Jackie Robinson, obviously people like, you know, the George Washington Carvers of the world, the Rosa Parks, like I said before, and even in wrestling, you think of people like Ron Simmons, the first black world champion. Although some people say that it wasn't Ron Simmons, but it is on technicality because Bobo Brazil technically was the first world champion, but did not take the belt due to Buddy Rogers being injured. Didn't want to win the title that way. It was, I guess, the title changed hands on an injury, which was very rare at the time. Probably talking late 60s, early 70s, maybe something around there. But didn't obviously happen, and the reign never stood at that point. And you think in wrestling, you think of, again, Ron Simmons, The Rock, Jacqueline, even Mark Henry, even Tony Atlas, people, you know, Rocky Johnson, and even someone in the wrestling, like people like Muhammad Ali, who made appearances in wrestling, were the greatest of all time, and probably greatest there ever will be in the sport of boxing. People, and I'm probably forgetting a million names too. God, it's gonna bug me for the rest of the fucking day too. People like you know, as these things go on, because we're gonna do one for Fastlane as well. So if I remember any more, I'll remember. But fuck, I mean, people like James Brown, the King of Soul. Fuck, you know, there's so many great people in Black history and Black excellence, as some people have said, in the modern age of time. But let's actually go to why we're actually here for the Elimination Chamber, as Woken or broken Matt Hardy, whatever you want to call him. He's woken, he's broken, he's whatever the hell you want to be, and he's gonna face Bray Wyatt. But yeah, that was just something nice I wanted to do. But in this day and age, people will take it the wrong way. But fuck it, can't please everybody. But at the same time, with this match, the last time we saw this happen was at Raw 25, and it was unexpected that Raw 25, if I was going to be at a pay-per-view, probably the month before, maybe the month after, but, it is what it is. And if this was going to be a long-term booking experiment between the Broken One and the Eater of Worlds, Bray won the last match at Raw 25, so you would think Matt Hardy would win this match, but I don't know. I'm going to go with Broken Matt. Or Woken Matt, or whatever you want to call him, ever since they did win the rights from Anthem and TNA, so he can technically be broken. And that might just be what happens. I think Matt will win, and we will have some version of a total deletion match, or something of sorts of the Great War at WrestleMania, and that's what I feel will happen. But, if you skip the video up to that point, I thank you for that, but because people just want to watch shit for the wrestling, and that's fine. But you want to recognize it, because people have been talking about it all month. It is their month after all, and it is something that should probably be more than just February. Honestly, it should be a yearly thing. We shouldn't just treat black people like shit. It's fucking horrible, and it's honestly racist, to be honest. I mean, it's not honestly, it is racist, but it's just fucking ridiculous that we're still in an age where people can be called things with a hard ER at the end. And you know exactly what I'm talking about with that. I'm not even going to dignify saying that word. But, to the point where people calling people that, it's unacceptable in this day and age. It's fucking 2018, I don't know. I would say at least come up with some new shit, but that's stupid. But, kind of fucked up a great moment, but fuck it. Elimination Chambers this Sunday, like we were saying, and, there's going to be a couple pre-show matches. It's probably going to be one of the final cross-branded pay-per-views, and we'll get to that maybe in May when that actually happens, but, it's going to be a great show regardless.